Coming up on Abilene's local news, the government shutdown continues. How could this impact your tax returns? We dig deeper to find out for you. Plus,
I'm Anna Warnicki in Washington. The 116th Congress was sworn in today, shifting the balance of power here in Washington. I'll have that story coming up.
And we're done with the icy weather and saying hello to almost spring-like weather. Abilene's local news starts right now.
Your news in your community. This is KRBC, Abilene's local news at 6.
Abilene drivers woke up to an icy situation this morning. Abilene police even classified the roadways in our area as completely covered in ice and sleet.
On Twitter this morning, police advised conditions would improve throughout the day, and they certainly did. This is video of this morning's ice melting over at Rose Park. Certainly a welcome sight for drivers here in the Big Country.
Good evening, I'm David Bacon.
And I'm Kathleen Barkley. Thanks for being here with us. Before the ice thawed, Abilene police were busy working many accidents overnight and even into the morning hours. Icy roads and overpasses along Interstate 20 and Highway 83-84 were impassable, causing accidents throughout the evening. Take a look at this 18-wheeler that slid off of the interstate in North Abilene. TxDOT worked a 24-hour rotation to keep roads treated to prevent ice accumulation.
So it's no surprise the series of car accidents Wednesday is leading to some big body shop bills today. Some vehicles had to be towed to body shops, but the majority were involved in fender benders. Still drivable, meaning they're starting to trickle into shops now. Many body shops are scheduling out the service to make sure no one has to go too long without their vehicle. The insurance process can take a long time, and these body shops will help drivers through the process.
A lot of times they will call their insurance company. If they don't really know what to do, they can call or come by here and we can direct them through the process, help them out with that as well.
It is a busy time of year for shops as they hurry to keep up with the massive influx of work.
Well, it's time now for our first check of the weather. Definitely a different narrative tonight compared to the past 24 hours as that wintry mix has melted and roadways are clearing.
Dylan, now that we're past all of this, what can we expect?
Well, the first good news is we are past all of it. We're not in the middle of it anymore when it's not ahead of us. So we're looking forward to a very nice next few days. That low pressure spinning off just to our northeast, that is still causing a couple of isolated showers around the northern half of the Big Country. Likely seeing some precip over on I-20 near Eastland, but right now things are generally clearing up. Taking a look outside again, a little bit of a haze out there, but generally clearer skies than we saw this morning, that's for sure. 40 degrees outside, and temperatures will continue to fall tonight as we head into the evening hours. Keep dropping down into the 30s. If you're heading off to dinner, make sure you grab a heavier jacket and you think you might need us tonight. And tomorrow morning we'll be back down around freezing for a lot of us by tomorrow morning. So standing water on sides of roads could refreeze tonight. Not expecting terrible roadways tomorrow morning at all, but tomorrow afternoon absolutely gorgeous, plenty of sunshine and temperatures getting back to the lower 60s. Guys?
All right, thanks, Dylan. Health officials are now recognizing restaurants who meet quality and excellence.
KRBC's Kelsey Pittman spoke with one establishment that continuously meets these requirements in your community.
Before you go out to eat, you can go to this website to see the restaurant, date of the inspection, location, and their scores. While rules and regulations have not changed, now restaurants that receive an A, that's 90 or above, will have it hanging up at their store.
We were very excited because we generally get that continuously, and we were like, that's awesome. That way our guests can see it.
Trying to encourage patrons to keep them accountable.
Good job, guys. That's awesome. I'll keep coming.
But only locations that have been inspected after November 15th will have them.
As they earn new ones on their most recent inspections, we'll be issuing those. The flip side of that is if we go back the next time for an inspection and they don't have an A, we're going to take those down.
Most get reviewed 4 times a year, depending on their risk assessment.
It's kind of based on, what kinds of foods they're offering. If they offer raw fish, if they handle raw chicken, raw beef, they're going to have a higher risk.
Only A's will be posted in stores, but workers say it makes their hard work
My pleasure.
worth it.
Working and cleaning and working and cleaning. You have to do both simultaneously, one after another, a little bit here, a little bit there, or else it doesn't get done.
In Abilene, Kelsey Pittman, KRBC, Abilene's local news.
Thank you, Kelsey. To find out more about this, you can go to our website and see the list on bigcountryhomepage.com.
Well, we're heading into the second week of a government shutdown. While it may not be affecting you now, that could soon be changing. Digging deeper for you, tax filing season is right around the corner, and if the shutdown continues any longer, it will have a direct impact on how fast you can get your returns back. We spoke with a local accountant who says he has already been busy trying to accommodate his clients while the IRS is closed, saying it will only get worse if those who are dependent on refunds can't get them in time.
Those that do not have a lot of income, what they're looking for is a large refund to help pay end of the year bills, Christmas and such as that, or planning for vacation time. And so they're dependent upon that large refund.
Now, if the government shutdown continues, it will not affect filing, just the refund process.
Texas has a texting while driving ban, but there's a new effort underway to go further to keep drivers safe. That's according to the National Conference of State Legislatures. 16 other states have hands-free laws in place.
KRBC's Steffi Lee shows us how one city's hands-free ordinance works and how the latest proposal would impact it in tonight's Texas Report.
We actually use both the state law and the city ordinance.
In Texas, texting laws can differ city to city.
Makes it difficult for an individual to drive and know what's expected of them.
So when do Austin police crack down on phone use while driving?
You pick up your phone in the city of Austin and you're not making an emergency call or taking some sort of emergency action with your phone, then that is a violation of our city ordinance. If you pick up your phone and you text, then you're violating state law.
The city also has a program where sighted drivers can get a discount in court costs if they buy a Bluetooth device.
We worked on the texting law for over 8 years in the state of Texas.
Jennifer Smith's mom was killed by someone talking on their cell phone while driving.
It was 10 years ago, September of 2008.
Under the latest proposal, all cell phone use must be hands-free, which includes voice-operated or push-to-talk functions. And it also overrides local rules related to cell phone use. Jennifer supports a hands-free law, but thinks this version leaves loopholes, like when a driver mounts a phone but still watches videos.
So there was a 5-year-old little girl killed on Christmas Eve in 2014 because a driver was FaceTiming when he was driving and he rear-ended their car and took her life.
Our ultimate goal is to educate people and to stop them from doing dangerous behavior when they drive.
There is also legislation filed where a state agency employee may not use a cell phone while operating a state-owned car, may not use a cell phone while driving for state business, but they will be exempt if the work is related to law enforcement or emergency activities.
Well, now we go to Capitol Hill, where the 116th Congress was sworn in today, shifting the power dynamic in Washington.
Democrats now have control of the U.S. House of Representatives, and their first order of business today was to end the federal government shutdown.
KRBC's Anna Wernicke is in Washington with more.
It's straight to work for the new 116th Congress.
I'm so ready to get to work.
The House welcomed a number of new faces, including Texas Democrat Veronica Escobar. And it was a familiar face that took back the role of Speaker in the new Democrat-controlled House.
I pledge that this Congress will be transparent, bipartisan, and unifying.
Pelosi says the first order of business is to end the government shutdown. House Democrats say they have a plan to fund the government agencies, but not President Trump's border wall.
We've got to reopen the government. This is absurd that the government is shut down over a singular issue.
We want to see strong border security, minus a 14th century solution called the wall.
President Trump says without money to build a border wall, there's no deal, and the shutdown will continue. But House Republicans insist the president will compromise.
I really think the ball's in the court of the Democrats, both House and Senate, to come back with a counteroffer. I'm open, and I think this president is.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the Senate won't vote on anything without the president's support.
So let's not waste the time. Let's not get off on the wrong foot.
President Trump plans to meet with congressional leaders from both parties on Friday. In Washington, I'm Anna Wernicke.
Coming up on your local news at 6, it is officially Girl Scout cookie season. It is time to stock up on your favorite cookie, and we'll tell you the new flavor added to the lineup.
Oh boy, we picked up just, what can I say? We picked up just under 1/4 inch of freezing rain last night, so it was pretty icy this morning. We're done with all that for the weekend, though. Look at that forecast coming up next.
This is KRBC, Abilene's local news at 6, with Kathleen Barkley, David Bacon, and Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith. Now, your KRBC Storm Team. Now, your KRBC Storm Team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Dylan Smith.
Was it cold enough or icy enough for you the last couple of days? If it was, well, the good news is we're leaving that all behind. As you look outside right now, really doesn't even look like it iced or snowed or sleeted or was cold last night, really, except for the fact that it's still a little bit cold outside. But we are getting much warmer by this coming weekend. As soon as tomorrow, we still have to deal with freezing temperatures tonight, though that could refreeze some things. Aside from that, again, refreezing tonight, standing water on the side of roads, in the yard, that kind of thing. So still some slick spots around the house tomorrow morning or the apartment. But aside from that, much quieter weather and much warmer weather in store. The extended forecast looking much more like a mid-March, maybe April kind of forecast with the temperatures we're seeing. But low pressure still centered just off to our east. The back end of that, you can see it's all swirling in from the Gulf here. That's coming in and still bringing us a couple of showers, as was anticipated by our futurecast. But you can see very, very spotty and very light. So still some persistent showers in the northern areas, but largely our winter weather advisories have gone away. We only have one left, and that is for Knox County up there just north of Haskell until tomorrow morning at 6. But there's a good chance as that low pressure moves away, that will be turned down, or at least turned off, heading into the overnight hours tonight. But until then, we are still anticipating a few more persistent showers, just very isolated to the northern parts of the big country, with maybe some light mist at times elsewhere. But things are going to continue to clear up, especially to the southwest. We're seeing warmer temperatures right now. That will continue heading into tomorrow morning as well. Again, you can tell the clouds, the rain, everything moves off that low pressure system, and heading into tomorrow, nothing but clear blue skies, maybe a few upper level clouds, but beyond that, very nice weather heading into the weekend to kick off the weekend. The first full one of 2019. You can see temperatures tomorrow lower 60s, and that will stay that way near 70 by Sunday. Very, very warm. That's about 10 or more degrees above our typical afternoon high of 56. That cold front will come through Sunday and Monday, but really not much of a cold front, just keeping us a little bit closer to seasonal by about 4 or 5 degrees. Winds will also pick up heading into the weekend. Not terribly strong, but Friday, Saturday, a little bit of a breeze. breeze out there by Sunday. A little bit on the windier side for your Sunday afternoon, whatever you're doing for church or anything like that. By Monday, slightly calmer, but then heading into the middle parts of next week, things will calm down a little bit more. Tomorrow morning, starting out in the 20s and lower 30s. Temperatures by lunchtime already back to the lower 50s, which is warmer than we've been the past couple of days. And by the afternoon, we are heading back for those upper 50s to lower 60s for almost everybody, except maybe some spots in the northern counties. Those winds have stayed pretty calm today, about 15-mile-an-hour gusts at times, but that's been the strongest we've seen. Temperatures did get back up to the low to mid 40s today, but tonight, again, the only threat tonight will be that chance of standing water refreezing, but temperatures will drop down to below freezing, upper 20s, lower 30s out there tomorrow, getting back up to the lower 60s, much warmer, very sunny, much more pleasant, very much more of a spring-like day heading our way tomorrow, and essentially this entire forecast. By Sunday, we'll be back up near 70 for a lot of us, mostly mid to upper 60s though. Plenty of sunshine, not much rain in the forecast, definitely no ice in the forecast either.
First weekend in January, it was like the first weekend in April.
That's what I'm saying. I'm liking it. I'm liking it.
That makes two of us. Up next on your local news at 6, former Stanford Bulldog James Washington has wrapped up his rookie season with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hear about how he overcame obstacles this season next in sports.
This is BigCountryHomepage.com Sports with Mary Martin.
The Dallas Cowboys are 2 days away from their first round playoff.
This is BigCountryHomepage.com Sports with Mary Margaret Johnson.
The Dallas Cowboys are 2 days away from their first round playoff game against the Seahawks. Silver Star Nation's Mickey Spagnola says the Seahawks will have some new players to pay attention to after Sunday's game.
Not only did the Dallas Cowboys beat the New York Football Giants on Sunday, they also put down some things on tape the Seattle Seahawks are going to have to pay attention to. Getting the ball to Tavon Austin, running some no-huddle offense, also using empty sets in that offense. But maybe the biggest thing, first-year tight end Blake Jarwin caught 7 passes for 119 yards and 3 touchdowns and became the NFC's Offensive Player of the Week. And now everybody knows who number 89 is.
Yeah, I think, you know, as a kid, I grew up especially thinking that I could always, you know, do more than what I've always accomplished. So, like I said, it's a great accomplishment for me, but I've got a lot more goals in front of me that I'd like to reach. Yeah, you know, but I kind of like it when they just call me 89. Puts a little chip on my shoulder, makes me, you know, keep working hard. I don't think that you can ever get complacent in this league especially.
Jarwin also won the Cowboys Player of the Game award, getting the heavyweight championship belt along with the boxing gloves. For the Silver Star Nation, I'm Mickey Spagnola here at a rainy Star.
Thanks a lot, Mickey. Sticking with the NFL, former Stanford Bulldog James Washington wrapped up his rookie year with the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday night. Washington finished the year with 16 catches on 38 targets for 217 yards and 1 touchdown. Now, the rookie did go through a tough patch in the middle of the season, but overall he finished his first season in the league on a high note.
I mean, it was just all about a timing deal, I guess. You know, some people learn faster than others, and some people just grow faster than others. And for me, it just took a little while, but, you know, I'm here, and thanks to my teammates and coaches that, you know, they believed in me and got me through that time, and now we're here.
That's all the time we have for sports. Let's go back to the desk.
Coming up on your local news at 6, if hitting the gym is in your New Year's resolutions, well, you're not alone.
Tips on how to stick to that resolution coming up after the break.
You're watching KRBC. You're watching KRBC, Abilene's local news.
Well, thanks for staying with us, David. We're past Christmas, New Year, Thanksgiving, all of that, all the great holidays, which means guess what?
What?
It's my favorite time of the year.
What?
Girl Scout cookie season. It is officially kicked off, and I am so excited.
I bet you are. That's right. And there is a new cookie in town. The Girl Scouts have introduced caramel chocolate chip to their lineup. The gluten-free cookie contains rich caramel, semi-sweet chocolate chips, and a hint of sea salt. The other gluten-free offering is Toffee-tastic, which was first introduced in 2015. They join returning classics such as Thin Mints, S'mores, and Samoas.
I'll stick to the ones with gluten. I like me some Samoas. All right, well, staying with consumer news now, Pizza Hut is giving consumers something to smile about. The pizza chain is having a flash sale to kick off the new year. Customers can get 50% off any menu-priced pizza. Now, to take advantage of this deal, customers must place those orders online. The offer runs through January 8th.
And looking Looking ahead, if you're not hungry after listening to all that, Abilene Mayor Anthony Williams will open up the floor for discussions again. He's continuing his community conversations, giving you the chance to ask him about what's happening at City Hall. His next community conversation tomorrow morning, Friday, January 4th at Mad Coffee at Highway 8384 from 10 to 11 a.m. tomorrow morning.
And if you're looking to start the new year on the right foot, join the YMCA for their Resolution 5K. Y members can register for $25, non-members for $30. You can register at either YMCA location at 3125 South 32nd or 3250 State Street. That 5K will be Saturday at 9 a.m. at Redbud Park.
And that way you'll exercise and lose some weight after eating with those Girl Scout cookies
it's called
on the way.
balance, David.
All right, well, if you're going to exercise or lose some weight this year, you're not alone. Those are often the most popular New Year's resolutions.
But polls say between 80 and 90% of people's well-intended resolutions fall flat. We hit the gym to see how some people manage to stick to their goals all year long.
For Craig Ray.
As of September, I've been trying to get back into it.
Coming to the gym 5 days a week.
Mondays, chest. Tuesdays are back. Wednesdays are shoulders. Thursdays are legs. And then Friday is arms.
Has been both easy and hard.
It's a slow process. You know, you lose everything and then you're trying to get back to where you were before.
Ray wants to lose 30 to 40 pounds to get in a healthy weight range. He's found a routine that works for him.
I prefer to work out in the morning. You know, as it gets later in the night, it's hard to get to the gym because of all the things that keep you at home.
He also sets small daily goals.
Every workout I do, I track my reps and my weight, so I always try to increase my weight by at least 5 pounds.
It's an approach that brings success.
A lot of people that start out with kind of the all or nothing approach, it doesn't last for a very long time.
Tiffany Sanders is a trainer. She told us discovering what works for you is key.
We want to make sure to meet you where you're at, make sure you're having a good time, something that makes sense for what your lifestyle entails right now.
Finding small victories for a healthier you.
You know, just keep on doing what I'm doing.
The American Heart Association says only about 1 in 5 Americans get enough exercise, and not exercising at all can be worse than smoking.
And speaking of worse, we're not getting any worse in the weather. We're looking at a great next few days. I'll look at that forecast coming up next. The first weekend and the first week of 2019 looking absolutely gorgeous. Much more like a spring forecast after all this freezing weather. It's looking nice.
All right. I like the way that one looks. Thanks, Dylan. All right. Well, that does it for your local news at 6. We'll see you back here at 10.
Good night, and thank you for trusting KRBC.